Well, hey guys, and welcome back. My name is Jessica Leichtweisz. I'm the CEO of Hope Education Services. I help you get your question answered about autism, about IEPs, whatever it is that you need to know to make sure your child's education is super successful. Sometimes I partner with people to get those questions answered, and today I have a very special guest here. He is autistic, self-advocate, and has really gone above and beyond to become an education advocate and make sure your child has a better experience than he had in school. Aidan Allan Cooper, he is here today to answer a question a parent sent in. Aidan, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited for this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. So a parent sent a question in saying her child has an IEP and he's being denied recess by his teacher as a result of a behavior which she believes is part of his struggles in the IEP, which is calling out and acting out, quote unquote, but calling out, getting out of a seat, fidgeting, and disturbing the class during classroom instruction. So the teacher's taken away his recess. Now, personally, as a teacher, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that recess is an integral part of a child's development and a necessary thing for every child. I personally don't think it's a good idea to take it away. But beyond it being a bad idea, is it something the child can do legally given the child has an IEP?
The short answer is no. I mean, that is something that is a huge violation within a child's IEP. The main goal really with a child's IEP is to put a child in the least restrictive environment. And a least restrictive environment is really recess. So if they're mainstreamed or they're with the neurotypical kids in a regular recess environment, taking that away from them is something that is just really, really, really unfortunate. And it's far too often where this happens. If this is happening to you, you absolutely have the right to say this is absolutely unacceptable. You can bring an advocate, a consultant, you can bring an attorney, whatever it is, so that somebody out there can let you know and this is pretty much in every single situation, it's really not going to be something that you're going to be able to do. And that's because of the fact that in a child's IEP, when it happens to be something where they happen to have that recess or that playtime or whatever it may entail, that's a time for them to socialize. And an IEP addresses both social, emotional, and academic. So by punishing them, that's disrupting the IEP social and emotional goal. So it's a classic mistake that a lot of schools make, and it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree with that. And just it's really poor teaching. Like, let's just be honest, if your teacher is doing that, that's a problem. And a lot of professionals and teachers watch these videos and, I'm sorry for being so blunt, but there's this old school idea that recess is a reward for good behavior, that if children sit down for 4 hours and comply, they're going to be rewarded with 30 minutes of getting to run around. That's not really true. The reality of it is that children learn from playing, from social interactions, and there's much learning going on in the recess than there is in the actual classroom. It's just a different type of learning and a different type of instruction, but it's just as important, it's just as crucial. So please don't be the teacher that does that. And if you are a parent and your child is having his recess being denied, talk to the teacher, talk to the principal, superintendent. If it doesn't work, you may have to get a lawyer involved, but the reality of it is as Aidan said, it is not okay given the child has an IEP. If the child does not have an IEP, you may have less of a legal ground to go against it, but I really think
there is still some ground, even if you're just very quickly, as just said, recess should always be something that is taking place. And there are some circumstances where a child can't have recess, and that's due to disciplinary issues. And there are certain examples where that is okay. But in all grounds, you absolutely do have the ability to look into your situation to see whether or not my child should be getting recess when in fact they're not.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something as a parent you have to fight for and you have to look into. So Aidan and I had actually co-authored a book called This is Autism. It's a story of 12 stories of autistic adults who share what it's like to grow up with autism and some of the things like your child might be going through, some of the things that they face. They tell stories of good teachers, stories of not so great teachers. So if you're giving your teacher a gift this year for a holiday, And maybe they're making some of those classical mistakes. Maybe if they read this book, they will stop making those mistakes. So check it out on
Maybe.
Amazon. This is Autism, our shameless plug. If you have a question, make sure you send it in. I answer every question I get. You can reach me by going to my website, hopeeducationservices.com. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.